Dr. Fox and the Impossible Cure for Death is written by Benedict Braxton Smith and Megan Peterson, and they were paired as writing partners at NYU's Graduate Musical Theater writing program. And the core inspiration for this story was the legend of the Fountain of Youth, that maybe we most popularly know sort of through Ponce de Leon and the search for that, spring of life. But it also appears, in scores of popular media, but also in many different cultures around the world, disparate cultures that have sort of this Fountain of Youth legend. And sort of that idea of a quest and searching for a cure to beat death sort of led them to this very intimate and beautiful story between a daughter, Dylan Shields, 13, and her father, Lev, the successful author of this children's book series, Dr. Fox. And as we begin our story, Lev has been diagnosed with an illness with cancer, and rather than dealing with it in a very direct way, he's looking for sort of respite from his disease in his work. So he just throws himself further into his writing. And it's left to Dylan, his 13-year-old daughter, to become sort of the adult in the relationship, to take charge, to do the research into the clinical trials. We see her going to the library, checking out these clinical research journals. And she's sort of the driving force to trying to find a cure for her dad, which takes them both to the hospital together, to these different clinical trials that she's able to get him into. And eventually, as she is confronted not just with his illness, but the very real possibility of losing him, she's forced to confront that loss and that possibility of a death of a parent, and actually ends up going into the storybook world that he's created in search of that idea of a fountain of youth, of something that could really cure death. The most inspiring elements of this story to me were, at its core, this love story between a parent and a child, and that beautiful, complex relationship between a father and a daughter, and how, we see the father being the parent of the daughter, but also, as is so often the case, the child also ends up becoming sort of a parental figure to the father, and helping him as he confronts these things as well. The other element to the story that I was drawn to was this gorgeous, lush story world of Dr. Fox that Lev is creating, that these writers, Megan and Benedict, have created. And sort of this interesting idea of sort of those two worlds combining, a character from the real world, Dylan, going into the storybook world of Dr. Fox, and just being able to use theatrical elements, being able to use our wonderful ensemble of Michigan State undergraduates to create that storybook world of foxes and sort of mystery and intrigue and fairy tale.